The Film Fella.
Now then, how's it going, and welcome to the channel if you're new here. After my last WandaVision video, I decided to do a little more digging to see if my theory had any more substance or weight to it. If you haven't checked out that video, I'll pop a link somewhere around here, and I'd highly recommend you check that out first. I'm going to link these two videos together towards the end of this video. Again, this may contain potential spoilers for the series. That's, if I'm right anyway. So turn away now if you want to keep your naive innocence to the plot that's currently unfolding. You still here? Nice one. So after over a decade of Marvel Studios movies and loosely affiliated TV series, here's looking at you, Daredevil and friends, we should have learned by now Marvel doesn't just pluck things from thin air. Whether it's minor Easter eggs and nods to the source material or teases for things to come, we've all become accustomed to the model that Marvel use in their shared universe. Hell, we even sit through the end credits these days just for a glimmer of what's coming next. Anyway, this made me wonder, surely Westview isn't just a randomly chosen suburban town with no specific relation to the comics? Well, it turns out, it isn't. End video right here. Just kidding, I'm not done with you yet. Come back here and keep listening. Look, Westview itself isn't in the comics, or at least not that I'm currently aware of, but that doesn't mean it's nothing at all. After a bit of digging, combing through the web and putting together my own comic book knowledge, I think I've stumbled across where, or more specifically what, Westview is in the MCU. Now of course, this is just a theory.
A film theory!
But linking together what we think we know about the plot and about a certain Agnes that's in the series at the moment, I believe it's entirely possible that Westview is in fact the MCU's version of New Salem. Now hear me out. As has been speculated for a while now since the delightful Kathryn Hahn was cast as Agnes in WandaVision, many believe her to actually be longtime legacy Marvel character, survivor of the original Salem witch trials, babysitter of the Fantastic Four, and mentor to Wanda herself, the witch known as Agatha Harkness. That's right. Marvel Comics have actual witches, and so does the MCU, it seems. So before I return to the New Salem theory and how it links to my previous video, let's have the quickest of quick rundowns of who Agatha is and how it all connects to this. As mentioned, she is a witch from the Marvel Comics who originally appeared as a babysitter type character for the Fantastic Four's Franklin Richards. As time went on, we found out she's around 10,000 years old and survived the Salem witch trials, and was eventually written into Scarlet Witch's storyline as a mentor to her magic abilities, amongst other things. It was eventually revealed she came from a safe haven for witches and wizards alike, New Salem. Of course, as the name implies, this place was set up during the original Salem witch trials. So how does this play into Westview as the New Salem theory? Well, from the comics we learn New Salem is one of Marvel's various cloaked locations that is only accessible to magic users, hence the reason it's so safe. Prior to the world being plunged into a real-life reenactment of Groundhog Day, because that's how it feels, we had previously had rumours of set pictures circulating depicting Hahn's Agnes in 17th century attire being burned at the stake. Putting this all together could lend weight to the theory that Westview isn't just a town picked at random, but actually the secret location of the MCU's New Salem, plausibly even having its name changed over time. It is entirely possible that Wanda ended up here somehow after the events of Endgame, either being drawn to it unbeknownst to herself, or potentially being led there by Agnes, or someone else, or something else. After all, she is a magic user and therefore could be the key to the place being seen, located, or entered, particularly if it hasn't been in a long time. Now here is where my last video comes into play. As mentioned, I have a suspicion that Wanda has actually resurrected and brought back Vision in all of his glory. He isn't a different character or a malevolent force masquerading as him. It's not a trick of the mind or her magic at work. He's the real deal. But we don't really know for certain how she's managed this. As said in the last video, we have some fan favourite theories about who or what may have helped her achieve this reanimation, but we still don't have any confirmation of this being true. What if part of the key to her unlocking this ability lies in Westview itself? If Westview is in fact the New Salem or some MCU variation of it, then perhaps its inherent magic has played some part in this, possibly alongside some of those other rumours regarding certain other characters. As I stumbled around the internet to piece this all together, I also came across the storyline of the Vision and the Scarlet Witch issue 1 from 1985. This comic draws some striking similarities to the series and may again be seen as Marvel taking some creative liberties in meshing different storylines together to incorporate it into the MCU, and also my crazy tinfoil hat theory. In short, the issue revolves around the pair settling down in the suburbs only to be attacked by zombies. Yup, that's right, zombies. In the comics, this zombie infestation is eventually sourced back to the villain, Grim Reaper, who we had a little cheeky nod to in episode 2's title cards, and who has a long story and a long history with Vision, but let's not digress into that any further right now. Cutting to the chase here, I don't see zombies in the traditional sense playing a part, but I do see the idea of Vision's resurrection and New Salem being tied to this. What if Wanda's sudden necromancy powers, which do have precedent in the more recent comics, that she has developed, or in this case maybe being given, have somehow inadvertently resurrected Agnes and some or all of the townsfolk in Westview whilst she was trying to bring Vision back? After all, episode 3 did display some strong levels of awareness from the townspeople, especially Herb, the dude quite literally breaking the fourth wall. He's cutting into his wall and trying to tell Vision we are all trapped. Dead. Agnes herself has seemed completely aware the entire time and clearly doesn't want to disrupt whatever it is that's going on, as evidenced in her telling Herb to keep quiet. Perhaps she did in fact die in the MCU when she was being burnt at the stake, and was unexpectedly resurrected in this secret town due to Wanda being unable to control her newfound abilities. Maybe she doesn't want Herb to spill the beans since she doesn't want to end up dead again. Who knows? But this is currently where my head is at with everything, and I thought I'd probably try and share it before my head just explodes. What I do know is that I'm bloody excited for where this season is heading, and we'll just have to wait and see what happens. So, do you reckon that we're on the money with this? Or are Marvel going to pull a fast one and do something completely unexpected? Drop your thoughts and theories in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, why not give it a like? If you're feeling even more generous, then go ahead and chuck me a cheeky subscribe as well if you fancy it. Anyway, until next time, see you in a bit.